Hey, and welcome to this week's Friday Tech Tip. My name is Carsten Milbach, and today I'm not going to show you new functionality, but I'm just going to do a brush up on resource accounts. Resource accounts is the account that we use when we are creating auto attendance or when we are creating call queues, or if we're using a third-party application, we can use it for sending calls to that bot or other stuff. So resource account is like the user object that we are binding into different functionalities. So normally we used to assign phone numbers and voice policies, and everything we control about it was done via PowerShell. Of course you can still do that, but a lot of people are not aware that actually Teams Admin Center has been upgraded. So now there's a lot of functionalities that we can do directly in Teams Admin Center. For example, if we go down here into voice and we scroll all the way down, we have resource accounts here. Under resource accounts, we have had that for a long time, a list of where you can see the UPN of it, the name of it, and the phone numbers. But now we also have the options to go in and change in it. So if we click on this resource account, we can actually go in here and set a voice routing policy. So no more PowerShell. We can see that one should have Global Connect, for example, and we save that one. That's awesome, and that's a very easy way of doing it. Of course, if you're doing bulk rollout and so on, PowerShell scripting is still the way to do it. The next thing we can do it is that we can also go in and assign phone numbers to it. So we have the option here, and in here we can choose if it's operator connect or calling plan or whatever we have. In this case, direct routing, and we type in the phone number. Just a little heads up is that we don't need the plus in front of it. In the good old Skype days, we have learned E164S always with a plus. Here it's okay to skip the plus. Perfect. One thing you will notice is that with some of the resource accounts, if they are not used for auto attendant or for a call queue, then we cannot do the changes in here because it's incomplete, the form. So sometimes we have third-party application where we're using it, and if this one is just blanked out, don't change it to anything because it will change where it's associated with. But that or the options in here cannot be changed in the Teams Admin Center. You need PowerShell for that part. So where do we use it, and in what situation do we use the resource account? Well, if we go in to auto attendance, in auto attendance, we are using it to assign into the auto attendant and of course put in a number. The neat thing here is that if we are having multiple numbers that we want to assign to the same auto attendant, we can just keep on adding them. So all the entries with the different numbers will hit the same auto attendant. So we only need to change one auto attendant for multiple numbers. Another way where we're using it is in call queues, and in call queues as well as auto attendant, we're using it to assign into to the group and say, yeah, this is associated with this one. Here we don't have a phone number, so you don't need to have a phone number on it. If you don't have a phone number, you can use call line identifier changes. I'll show that later. So this is here where we are binding the resource account into that call queue. Down here, we are saying that members of this call queue has the option to show this outbound number that are associated to this resource account, which means that if I'm a member of this call queue, when I make outbound call, I'll have the option to show either this main number or this IVR phone number here, and I will actually be asked for outbound calls from a mobile device, or in the Teams client, I will have the option to choose it in a drop-down menu. So that's where we're using it in call queues and in auto attendant. We also use it if we go into call ID, policies. In call ID policies, we will have the option to go down and find a number if we see a resource account, and then we'll have the option to search for the resource account, and we are making a policy, and that policy we can bind to a user, and then the user will show that resource account's outbound number. Very smart, very easy, and of course everything here as well can be done in PowerShell. I have found that if you have a too big list, the Teams admin center might be a little slow and so on. So if you're a huge company, if you're having problem with finding the right resource account here, try to do it in PowerShell. Good. That was this Friday tech tip. I hope you learned something from it. It was a short update on where and what we are using resource accounts to. Have a great day.